Hello, what up, YouTube, and welcome to your 25th tutorial on how to create an FPS game. So today we're going to be doing sounds. So what I've brought here is a couple of sounds that I've cut and downloaded from stuff on the internet. And what I'm going to be covering today is a footstep sound, jump sound, and gunshot sound. Now you personally might want to change gunshot to like the name of your gun, maybe, and then if you want to have multiple guns, that would be the proper thing to do. But I just have one, so I'm just gonna leave it at gunshot. So what you need to do is get all your sounds together, put them in a nice folder like this, and import them into Unity. By the way, for those of you who've watched the previous version of this tutorial with no sound, I am redoing it because for some reason my screen recorder did not record the sound of the previous one. But if you haven't, then just forget everything I said. Alright. Hold on 1 minute. Right, sorry for that. I just left something on there. Right now it's completely clean. Now, first thing I want to do before importing the sound is organize our project even more. I want to create an art folder, just like you have a folder for the scripts and standard assets, which is the shit that comes with Unity. I want to have another folder for our own art, so let's just call it art. And put everything that has to do with prefabs or scripts. So yeah, gizmos, models, textures, materials, everything. Alright. And now what you can do is simply import, drag and drop sound straight onto art. No, import it straight in. Great. Now once you've got your files, got your interface fixed, we're first going to be covering gunshot sound because that's the easiest. So now the way sounds work in Unity is you have a component attached to the game object, which it's called audio source. That audio source, it has a file as a parameter, alright, and then you can tweak all the play settings in it. So you can attach it to the component menu, I think, but you can also attach it by just dragging and dropping the sound on. So let's drag and drop gunshot, and now you get an audio source. Here's the range of the sound because it's a 3D sound. This is the minimum range, and the maximum range is this big blue ball right here. You can play with the ranges. By the way, the bigger the minimum range is, the louder the sound. So I'm just going to tone it down a bit. Plus you can also play with the volume with these. I'm not gonna tweak these any. I'm just gonna uncheck this, and that's all you need to know to do. Just drag and drop and uncheck play on awake. Right? Now once you have the component on the game object, on your gun game object, go into scripts and go into player gun. Right now, once it opens for you, go to player gun, and we don't even need to reference because our sound file, because it's already referenced in the audio source. All we need to do is tell it to play it once we hit a shot in. We hit a successful shot every time we raycast it successfully. I mean, don't you think? Alright. So I'm just gonna type here if audio. This just checks if you have the audio component attached to your game object. So if audio, then audio dot play. Just like you have particle emitter dot emit, you have audio source dot play. Alright, so let's check how that plays. Hold on just 1 second. Alright, sorry for that, and what do you know? You get awesome sounds and they play accordingly to your fire rate. Watch this, if you even play with the fire rate, because you set it to play only when it successfully shoots. So if I make the fire rate 1, you can watch this. See that? Right, let me just delete these two enemies because they have nothing to do with this. Right, sorry for those. Now back to our sounds. Alright, now once you've got your gun sound fixed, we want to make the walk sound. So if you've kept your player move script, that's great. If you haven't, then you could just modify, we could just make a new script and put only what we put in there. Well, you'll see. You can just modify the scripts that come with Unity. So open your player move script, or just your movement script, and now simply add two variables. Now the way we're going to do this is because you can only have one sound component per object, and we want two sounds on this object. We need to reference the files through variables, and then set the variables to the variable on the audio source. So first of all, we need to give it an audio source. So let's just put a random sound on there. Right, and it doesn't matter what the source really is. Just uncheck play on awake. Right. Now go back here and reference var foot or var step equals audio clip. I think it is. Yeah, it's audio clip. Right, now copy, paste that, and rename it to jump. Keep changing his annoying editor. Right, now right here we just want to check if the correct buttons are hit, and once they're hit, we play a sound. So if now what I'm gonna do is just to shorten the typing and put an or sign. Now if you don't know this by now, this means or. So if or this equals true or this equals true. So it's instead of doing two ifs. Right, so if input.getAxis vertical is active or horizontal is active, then what we first of all want to do is set, no, excuse me one more time. Right, sorry for that. Where was I? Alright. So if either of them are pressed, and you simply want to set the audio sources clip. So audio dot clip equals step. Oh, and we also want to check if audio dot is playing equals false. So if it's not playing anything, so it won't play over. If it equals false, then set the sound and play the sound. Audio dot play. Alright, great. Now once we've got this, we want to set it also for the jump. So you can just copy this, put it here, and then instead of step, set it to jump. There's a better way of doing this, by the way, but I'm just gonna stick to this simple way. Great. Now you'll see we got, once we reference the sound actually, right here, footstep and jump, not gunshot, jump. Great. Now let's play that. Great. You can hear we're walking when we're moving, and we're jumping. Great. Now another thing I want you to notice. Oh, fire rate is still buggy. Alright, another thing I want you to notice is in a moment I'll walk into a rigid body here, and you know, if we shoot our rigid bodies, they move. See like this. But if you walk towards them, you know, if you collide with them, they don't move. They're like static objects all of a sudden. And we want to fix that. So I found a sweet small function here on the Unity site, and this is testing the hit of the controller, the character controller collider, because you know the character controller comes with its own collider. So there's a collider and a character controller collider, which are practically the same but not the same, right? So this is like a demonstration function for the character controller collider, and I just want to add this into a script. So just Control C, Control V, or if you're using a Mac, do whatever the Mac users do. And we don't even need push power. Instead of push power, just output speed divided by 2 just to make it more dynamic. So the faster you are, the stronger you hit it. But you know, you can put whatever you want. So speed divided by 2. Right, and make sure it divides it by 2 first. Great. Now let's test that out. can close this, back to our game, and play. Right, we're walking, and bam, we're pushing them away. Isn't that cool? Alright, so yeah, that is all for this tutorial. It's not all for sounds. We will get a bit more into sounds later on. But that concludes today. So be sure to tune in for more. Sorry for the long break, and see you next time.